true light, coming live from the Lamb of Allah on Mount Zion, the city of peace. Rabboni Sayyid Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi. He is the only being who is preparing us, the seed of Abraham. Refer to Genesis chapter 15 verse 13. Nubians of the world for the return of the Messiah. Proverbs 16 verse 32. He that refuseth instructions despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. So, whether you are a Christian, Jew, or Mohammedan, have a seat, relax, and grab a pen and some paper, and open your scriptures, and listen to the earth-shocking truths taught by Rabboni Sayyid Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, as he brings us back to the true way of life, the religion of Abraham. El-Quran, chapter 2, verse 130 in part. And as for him who turned away, rejecting the law from the religion of Abraham, he makes a fool of himself. You are now listening to The True Light with Sayyid Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi.
If you go down to history, you'll find it wasn't Mary of Magdalene or Mary, Jesus' mother, or Martha, or any of them that gave birth to the sects that brought about all the denominations of Christianity. After Allah put his part in it and gave us the Messiah, it wasn't the women who messed it up. In fact, it was a woman who had the most courage to go to the tomb in the morning while the disciples were hiding behind a closed door, brothers, men, while we were hiding behind closed doors. You hear it now, don't you? She, Mary of Magdalene, went out and took the chance of getting killed. You understand? You understand me? So again, who is responsible for Lutheranism, Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witness, Pentecostals, Catholics, Coptics? You can just say us, you know. But they're not saying it, the sisters going. They say it's been a long time coming. Now, when you go on into Judaism, who was responsible for breaking all the families up? Who sold Joseph into slavery? Their sister Dinah or the brothers? That threw all of Israel into bondage in Egypt. Who did that? Who's responsible for the sectism of Judaism? Who's responsible for this? Women are doing this? And the ones that are in Israel now, the Khazars, the Sephardic, Ashkenazians, who is doing this? When you get back and read, you get back to men's names who are responsible for the thoughts that bred the sectism inside the sect of Judaism. Now let's go to Islam. Was it Fatima? No. Was it Aisha? Yes. Got to that time. Was it Khadija? No. But is Aisha responsible for all of the sects that came out of Islam? No. Name a sect called Aishaites. Yeah. She had a voice and it got shoveled under the rug like it always does with women. If she was such a powerful force in holding up Sunni Islam under her father Abu Bakr Siddiq, why isn't anything in her name except hadiths, which are referred for men? Again, the responsibility for breaking the Islamic faith up into a bunch of sects, which has everybody fighting each other You follow that? All over the world is us, men. But Allah did not originate it in man. He originated by sending an angel to the woman. And even in Muhammad's case, for those who are saying, what about Muhammad? Muhammad didn't know what to do with his message until he came back to Khadijah. And you have a whole section, the cloak. And she cloaked him under. And then took her to her Christian uncle. Right? But Khadijah opened his heart and head to his position as a prophet. So to answer your question, yes, women should be able to pray alongside of us or even in front of us. Yes, women should be able to give shahadas, perform aqiqahs, baby ceremonies, perform marriage ceremonies. You follow? Yes, they should be able to lead prayer, call to prayer, funeral rites, teach classes, lecture. Yes, why not? And in that right, yes, they should be able to go out and propagate just like you do. Because you don't call it peddling, you call it propagating. Right? That's what you tell the wives when you come home, out propagating. As far as I'm concerned, women have the right to do anything Allah says. And until someone presents me with a scripture it says otherwise, and please don't bring Paul. Right, please. It presents me with a scripture that says otherwise, I'm following Allah. You follow that? You can follow Muhammad, you can follow Moses, you can follow Jesus. I'm following Allah. Your divine purpose is being blocked by man. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you a certain amount of information that He did not give us. What is that information? The world has been ruled, the religious world, by religious men. Relax your neck. You're too tense. Relax. By religious men. The rabbis were men. The swamis, the gurus were men. Right? The imams, the sheikh, the maulana, the muftis, the effendis, the shahs, the sayyids, the sharifs, the mahdis, men. The mujaddid, men. The messiah, prophets, men, but there's women that they never mention. There's 3 women called prophetess in the scripture that they just jump over like it's a hurdle. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left you women with a divine path, something that you have to teach us. A question that has popped up to me since I've been teaching. I've answered it many times, but for some reason, even though I've answered this question many times, it always seems to get asked again. I don't know why, and then it dawned on me. Because a woman teacher has to explain it, not a man. You know why? Because I've never had a son and a daughter. I have children through my mates, but I personally never carried a son or a daughter in me for 9 months. Right, brothers? Now, women don't understand it unless they have a son and then a daughter. So they can't teach it. You'll understand the difference in what a male child does to the woman's metabolism and what a female child does to a woman's metabolism only if you can have a male and female child. Other than that, we men do not know why she freaks out more after a female child than she does after a male child. She feels it in her body, the chemical reaction that it has a female child versus a male child. I can't teach it. I was asked, why do they say 40 days for the male and 80 days for the female, which of course the Torah, Leviticus, only says 7 for the male and 2 weeks for the female, so the point is still there, Leviticus 12. Correct? It's double the time. Again, the point stays. Why double for the female and not double for the male? People ask me for years. I said, well, because when a woman gives birth to a child that's a female, she takes from every part of her body. Everything from a nail growth, because women's nails grow different than men. If you look at a woman's hands, you can tell. You understand? The way a woman's heel on her foot grows, the curve here, is different than a man's. The arch is different than a man's. The bone structure in their face, though some women look masculine, the bone structure in the face is different. Not to mention mammary glands, fallopian tube, uterus, etc., etc., etc. But these things the woman has. So when a child that's a female is being shaped in the womb with the X chromosome, it takes from every inch of body. Takes off from up here. It drains some of the brain fluids post-mortem. So after she has a female child, she will give you a rough time, brother. She is freaked out. She don't even know why she's freaked out, but she is freaked out. It's something she feels. With a male child, it's half the problem. Correct? Now, I've answered that question as a male teacher for years. Yet people have been asking me the same question over and over again. Even though I've answered it in books, in the sex life of a Muslim, I've answered it, it's been answered. But it still gets asked again and again and again to me. So I realized it's because it is our woman teacher who's going to have to answer that question. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by that incident I just explained to you, tells us that Leviticus 12 is a woman's job. And the word Leviticus is from the word Lawi or Levi or Levi. And the Levites were the priest tribe of Israel. You follow that? So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put right in the 12th chapter about the nature of the woman in concerning birth of a male or female, and no man can really explain it, not even me, because I can't feel it. She can get up there and get in detail. Well, what happens is, you look at an egg and you just say like chopping it up. You flip an egg, the yolk is there and you just go, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I want to throw my son out the window. I just get this feeling. We can't begin to understand that click in her nature. You understand what I mean? No. So it was destined that a woman raised up in us as a teacher of the Levitical law and thus become a priest. This. You follow? An imam. In our researches this week, we found a hadith right in their own hadith, the manual of hadith that the Sunnis use. I think it's the 29th page. Right? It literally says the Prophet Muhammad told Waraqah that she should act as imam. It'll be in a, you have it on a piece of paper soon, just for fun, so you can go, nah. Right? He literally said to act as an imam, and they use the word in there, imam. They didn't even put it in feminine. Now, we jump into what is an imam. We don't want to answer this. We want them to answer that question. We want the Sunni to answer what is an imam. Now, their answers are the leader of the mosque, the leader of the prayers, the administrator of the prayers and the laws in the mosque. That is Imam Siraj Wahaj. He collects zakat. He makes the trips back and forth to Mecca, representing. He goes to the meetings, correct? He chairs the khutbahs. Right? He leads the salah. He recites the Quran. He performs the janazah and the nikah, the funeral and the wedding ceremonies. This is their definition of imam. He got a big position. There's even imams like Bukhari who have the right to write hadith. Correct? Everybody here can add their name on the next hadith. But then why not? I mean, after Imam so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, then it gets down to you and you say, when you talk to someone, you say, well, according to my hadith, it was once Bukhari's hadith. I mean, why are you allowed to do that? Plain and simple. That's what they did. Bukhari's not a prophet. He's not an apostle. He's not the Messiah. He's not the Mahdi. He was a man who put his name after somebody else's name on a chain called a silsila. One of these things. And at the end of that link, he added his name. But somewhere along the line, the Sunnis stopped adding names. But we can. When we get to that point, we add our name. Say, well, according to me, in this hadith, in the Sunnis say, you can't do that. Why can't I? Show me somewhere in the hadith where it says I can't do that. This is something you did. But ask them to define an imam. And once they put the writing on the wall of what an imam is, then and only then do you present them with that hadith. Don't go running to them now before you guys say, but I got one. Wait. And let them tell you, this is what an imam is. And then you say then, when did y'all start disobeying the Prophet Muhammad? Because somewhere along the line, because I can travel throughout the Islamic world today, and I don't find any female imams at all. But in your hadith, it's there. Now, some people say, well, there's a section in the Bible that says women should not minister unto men. Right? If you're looking at again, you find out that's Brother Paul again. It wasn't the Messiah Jesus. It wasn't John or James or Barnabas, your father, or Musa or Yeshua. It was Brother Paul about his business of distorting the law and creating a hadith for himself. That was not the law. So women have a divine mission within the mission. And probably one of the reasons why we were failing is because we were limping in the Olympics. Because if your right leg is severed and you gotta use just your left leg, you will be limping in the Olympics. Correct? Our nation has been limping for 20-something years. We went into the ring to box the world with our right hand tied behind our back and don't understand why we keep getting a black eye. We got this hand up for defense and he keeps on punching me in this eye. What do I mean by he punches me in this eye? He weakens the community by getting to the women and they want to leave and then you follow. More women leave than men, you know. But it's easier because look at this society. They're prisoners. They're not allowed to think. She can't tell you to shut up when you talk too much. But you can tell her to shut up. And your wife turns around and says, why don't you just shut up? You know what you would do? You would, I know that the men are laughing because they really think they got it figured out. You would get into a fight. So you thought I was going to say you knock her out. You don't really know if you can beat your wife. You don't really know it's because she's been told to let you do that. Now just suppose when you swung, she grabbed your hand and bent your little pinky finger till you was on the ground. How would you explain that to us, brother? Because in the years that I've been in this community, I've seen brothers come back with scratches and say, well, we got a little scuff. I said, little scuff? Little scuff. I mean, how did you get the scratch? Without the ducking and bobbing and weaving that made me do all this stuff else. How did you get that close? Well, you know, she snuck me. A woman snuck you? Yeah. She snuck me. And when I woke up, and then I told her, I'm going to kill her. Did you kill her? Oh, well, I had to go find something to put on my eye first. Suppose she does beat you up. We'll never know how powerful she is because for centuries the concentration has been on suppressing her. I'm not saying I want no wife lifting weights and becoming muscular. I'm quite sure you don't want no wife looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe some of y'all, I don't know. But not everybody. Right? But you will never know how much they can help us as long as we don't allow them. We're never going to realize how slow we're moving until we put that other foot down on the ground and take that other hand from behind our backs. You understand? And get on the ball. Allah will make Himself clear. That's why I said that a woman has to interpret Leviticus. That's clear. That men are doing it, but Allah made it clear that the only being other than a woman that could understand that would be Allah. How can a man ever understand? Only Allah other than a woman could understand that. That gives you a clue there that that's divine. You follow? And then that also gives you a clue that Allah's nature goes beyond the simple He. Him. The man Allah. And that's what gave people in Nation of Islam the right to personify Him in one individual man. He. And that's going to take a long time, as I said, personify Him. Because it's been drilled, the curse has been drilled in us. Who decided that the word huwa had to be male and hiya had to be female? Like I said last week, khalifas are male, but they have tamabuta on it, which is a mark of the female. Right in the Quran. We are responsible for distortion. Allah is the source. You can make Him a man if you need that man. I don't need it. I don't need to give Him a gender to make me feel great no more. I did. It's like most men do. I don't need to see Him as a man with a beard. You know what I'm saying? To feed my ego. I see the Creator. That's why you'll find I use the great soul a lot of times now in writings. The great soul. That great could be great in time or in size.
We will continue with the true light after this brief intermission. Nubian incense. The prophet Moses, son of Amram, burned sweet incense as the supreme soul Allah had commanded him to do. Refer to Exodus chapter 40, verse 27. In the Torah, burnt offerings were always of sweet scent. Also available, a new suit worn by the Lamb. Now all people of color will have the sweet smell of the Lamb. Get yours while supplies last. Don't get caught empty-handed. Available at the Prince of Abraham, Post Office Box 1264, Monticello, New York, 12701. Now let us continue with the true light.
I mean, I'm quite sure that right now your wife could walk around for about a week without a veil, right? In a year's time, you're going to forget she even wore a veil. You're going to forget sisters wore a veil. There's not going to be all that tightness in the Sisters, you take your sister's wife, she got a veil on, with no veil, still acting like this. You got to give her, you got to say, relax. That's that good spirit veil. You really think that they don't know who you are? Whatever they see, that's what they think that you are. They're going to look good. And I'm trying to say, like, see, he looks like a Muslim. That's what you got to stop now. So they don't know what you are. Then they'll have to do what? What are you? You say Hebrew. They say, you keep the Sabbath? You keep Rosh Hashanah? You mean Rosh Hashanah? You keep Yom Kippur? You mean Yom Kippur? Because that's your language now. Because when Ethiopians say, they say it in their language. They go, they say, you're Jewish, huh? That's the first thing they're going to say. Oh, you're Jewish. Say, no, you're Jewish. I'm Hebrew. You know what I mean? You will see the value of the woman when you stop suppressing her. You know what I mean? We suppressed her because we didn't have any manhood. Because the white man took our manhood away. You know what I'm saying? So we gain our manhood by condescending conversation. So her like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out. Where you going? This is not going. Where the hell are you going? That's what he said. And we feel with that type of dialogue, we're man. Yes? I knocked you out, woman. Talk back to me. Don't raise your voice when I'm talking. Like you're wrong. Right? And we have stifled ourselves unbelievably by that practice. All I'm saying is, don't tell me you don't love your woman. I'm not buying it. So stop fronting. You know you love your woman. So don't pretend for her you ain't got a nose job. And push her in the back. When you're around a brother, you every now and then say something real cocky. And she looks like, and you're, and you better hope that she don't say what. But if you hit me, nigga, you won't be sitting alone tonight. You know what I'm saying? You're in that baby up there. And so you know the real deal. So all I'm really trying to do is alleviate the pain. Sometimes these younger men, I got a couple of brothers in here, because we got this gray hair. That's wisdom. My father-in-law back there, that's wisdom he got. We gained. And one of the things we gain in that wisdom is how to treat women. You don't know that when you're young. And you know, it's all happening fast in the last record you listen to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the lyrics, you don't buy it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It all works like that with women and life. But as you start to be older, you start to mature, you start to appreciate women. You know the one thing you're going to do? You're going to realize how much you stifle yourself by stifling her. How much help you cut off. Because your woman ain't sitting right next to you learning this right now. Because she's going to pick up things you miss. Because she hears different than we do. Because she's a different creature than we are. Not a lower creature or a higher creature, a different creature. So she hears things that we don't hear. And she interprets on the way home her own way. That's not what I think he said. Shut up. I know he said, I was there. So what did I hear him say? Or, did you really, did you really catch what he said? He's like, this is what he said. And you know, you can catch it. What did he say? What he really saying is that, because they just say things and put them together and say, you know, and I'm telling women, I'm saying, women. Are you in danger? You're in danger from us maintaining this man thing. You understand what I'm saying? You're in danger because we have to talk down to you to feel like a man because we ain't in charge of anything. We don't run no company. We have nobody under us to dictate to. You follow me? This is the thing I let you speak about. We got to do all of us to speak it. And so we have to talk to women like, okay. You know what I mean? I know you got to say what we call cocky. None of you want to feel close. We have to do that. Because we were created to rule. And our rulership was snatched from under us by the devil. So now we don't rule nothing. So we come home drunk and beat the heck out of our kids. Or our wife. Because it makes us feel like we are in charge. Come in, everybody watching television, walk over and sit down. Then change down. Everybody trying to know when you come home, you're watching television, you come and change the program of football. Sit back down and go back. And dare anybody in the room to say, we're watching, whatever. What's up? What? I'm taking the television. I'm going to take the day. This is my house. Right? When they were right defeated, you were going to get you the dirty door. They meant you made it. What? I'm telling you, I'm trying to save us. I'm saving our nation. If you don't want to be a part of being saved, I don't care. But we better liberate our women from this slave mentality we put them in. We're impressed by the white man, and then we impress them, and women are impressed by the black man. You know what I'm saying? You better bring them to life and let them use their strong, powerful minds they have, that mother instinct for us to survive, because we ain't going to make it any other way. Haven't you noticed that it doesn't feel the same sitting next to a sister and the way I'm on? And a brother, you just become his brother and your sister. If all the night, I might touch my knee, I might fall in love with something, all that stuff over here. First of all, like, I want my wife, my little girl. I know that you got a check, you feel protected. But now, when she becomes a person, you'll know your wife. You won't know her as long as she's in there. You won't know her potentials or capabilities as a make her a person. Let her sit next to him, right beside him. Now what? You worried to do it on you? You want to do? That's you doing that. That's your mind telling you this. Looking to see if there's what we need. If you sitting there and you sitting there and the brother sitting next to your wife and you was going through all that homework, you're the one with the problem. You're telling the disciples that the woman is going back into man because that wasn't the beginning, so it's out of the intent.
Right.
And this is because the hormones are not being stimulated by the male.
Exactly.
Now the question is, how do we get the woman back? How do we stimulate the woman? And I have another question. Can I
answer that? I'm not that bright. You're a lot younger than me. Let me answer that one and I'll get jealous. That we're already doing that by taking these veils off and giving the women their femininity back. You follow what I'm saying? By putting the pictures out of the females of the scriptures and putting an image back in where women want to walk better, because we have sisters who walk like men and they're covered up and their hair is covered up, they don't wear makeup, they don't do their nails, they don't care. And that was our fault, right? And so by taking them and bringing them to this new identity, the women feel better about themselves, eventually their husbands feel better about their wives, and that femininity starts. We were talking about young hip-hoppers and how young girls wear sneakers like men and clothes like boys and hats on the side, hang on the corner together. There's no close dancing. They don't listen to slow music. Everything is, they don't even have to learn to dance. Do you remember when you had to learn how to dance? Huh? They don't go in rooms to learn how to dance. They just get in the party, and if it falls within one of the beats on the track, it's cool. We had to learn how to dance. And they said, we got a party, man. We got to go learn this dance this week. They lost all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They lost a sense of color. They don't even try to match. You be saying, I got no brown socks, man. I got brown shoes, brown socks. These boys come out with aquamarine on, purple. Just iridescent stuff don't match. Jackets baggy, pants tight, pants baggy, jackets tight. Nothing that makes no sense. That means like the statue on the walls, the demagogues of London, England, and then the Arabic on the temples of Africa, as it's called today. What was in our soul is now being replaced with what's in their soul. And what's in their soul is now being replaced with what's in ours, because now they're starting to build masajids all over the world. Right? And so-called Muslims are starting to come live in the Western world. You follow? I'm saying that to say now the children, through the music and their outlook, have lost their souls. They're becoming demons. There's no affection. You know, it was like hay rides, and we go to parties, we had the leg of all stuff, we went in Latin, you know, or the hustle, or the bus stop, and I'm giving you some recent stuff, because it goes back to the twist and the, you know, and the cha-cha here, and the 2 foot and way back there. Now I can go back further to Lindy Hop and the wall. I might leave some of y'all, though. I don't know. Most of y'all are younger than me, right? But they had a purpose and everything. We dressed a certain way. We went out, everybody partied a certain way. You can go to the beach and didn't have to worry about getting shot up. You went on a picnic and you just went on a picnic. A whole bunch of people have fun together. Nowadays, you go to a picnic, people that have guns there under the blanket just in case some young creeps decide to come down for this pier on the beach and mess with y'all. You know what I'm saying? A little, you can't go bike riding. Somebody snatch your bike. Tens of us get together on Saturdays and rent bicycles and just go bike riding. Remember that? So we got to try to give this stuff back to our kids, the beauty. In other words, we're a dying species. You know what I mean? We were very happy people. Even when we didn't have no food because the oatmeal box was empty, or the grit box, you know what we did with it? Turned it into a drum. When the toilet roll got empty, True, white people do not have that in them. They do not know how to have fun when they're miserable. You can't even cry and look in the mirror, you're so joyful. Try it. Cry and stand in the mirror and watch you start laughing at yourself. You got so much joy way down inside that you go to the mirror, start checking out your beauty and stuff. Someone knock on the door, you alright? But that's us. That is our nature. And what happened, really, I'm telling you what I feel, what happened is in us accepting the Orthodox Islamic ways and their culture, we cut off us. You know what I'm saying? We cut off us. We're calypso people. You know, we want the music to move. You know what I'm saying? We want to have a good time. We're colorful people. You know what I'm saying? That's why some of our richest men are comedians, because they niggas like to laugh. We like to have a good time. We lost a lot we got to get back in tune with. And believe me, don't care what people say. There's enough of us to do it our own way. Just look at us. We can do it our own way. We can create our own everything. Everything there is, we create it. As long as we do not disrespect the laws of Allah. As long as we stay on the laws of Allah, there's no limit to what we can't. Well, there's a limit, you know. Don't get stupid. But you understand what I mean, right? So we're doing that already. And now we got to concentrate on the boys. Because young boys are egotistical like you wouldn't believe, this younger generation. You can't tell them nothing. They don't know nothing and can't be told anything. Try to have a conversation with them, you hurt their feelings. You try to correct them, you insult them, their feelings get hurt and they regress down to a kid. Just trying to tell me that's stupid. You just get ready to shoot somebody with an AK-47 a minute ago, now you're standing like a little boy. That's how they are. It's a mess that white man has got deep into our minds in this generation and messed our heads up. They got to learn how to walk. They walk like gorillas. They walk like gorillas and stuff. They act cocky and we got to change all of that. We got to, you know, we got to change our whole value system for our younger generation.
The Pamphlets of Peace, authored by Sayyid Isa Al-Hadi Al-Mahdi. Available now are edition numbers 20, The Pale Man, 27, The Fast of Ramadan, 64, Secret Societies Unmasked, 87, final messenger, Christ, the final word. 104, Halloween, the devil's Sabbath. 105, fallacy of Easter. 133, purity and neatness. 133, maintenance of health. 155, Al-Quran in parts 1, 2, 3, and 30. 170, who was Jesus sent to? 171, the resurrection. 181, the wise man. 184, Nubic, language of the Nubians. 195, the book of the 5 percenters. 198, 360 questions to ask the Orthodox Sunni Muslims. 216, the book of Revelation, chapter 11. 216, the book of Revelation, chapter 1. 216, the book of Revelation, chapter 13. 216, the book of Revelation, chapter 18. 216, the book of Revelation, chapters 21 and 22. Order now while supplies last. At the Tents of Abraham, Post Office Box 1260, Monticello, New York, 12701. Available now to the children of Abraham, our new sacred dress. Available in assorted colors and sizes, small, medium, large, and extra large. Designed especially for you, the children of Abraham, by the Lamb of the Supreme Soul, Allah, straight from the Torah, in accordance with the religion of Abraham. Refer to Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. This is the dress referred to in the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 1, as the beautiful garment. Come to the tents of Abraham and purchase the garb of Mount Zion, the garb of righteousness, along with other religious artifacts that have and must be blessed by the true Rabbi, Sayyid Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi. Or you can order now at the Tents of Abraham, Post Office Box 1260, Monticello, New York, 12701.